live?
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, listen, a little delay sometimes across the country. Don't mean to make a fool of myself there, but it is January 12th, 2022. I notice I keep signing everything 2021. Jason, what about you? How many times have you signed 2021 so far?
No, I haven't actually.
Well, I have. We got Skyla in the studio audience. What's up, Skyla?
Hello. I'm happy to even talk to you since it's been barely any time at all.
It's a little chaotic. I'm not going to lie about that. Obviously, Joe, Crypto Joe's in there. Joe, I bet you're happy to see Bitcoin getting back to 44,000. It's like right on the cusp, right?
Yeah, I'm super happy, especially since resistance at 45. I think we're going to beat it.
Yeah, it is a little nerve-wracking when you've spent $160 million on miners, $167 million on miners and installation and stuff like that. It gets a little scary, Jason. But you were never worried, Jason, huh?
Well, I can't really say I wasn't worried but I do know this. We made a good acquisition at a fair market price. Let's just say that.
Hey, Jason, you notice my screenshot? That's an F458. We'll talk about that later. Who else is in the house here? Do we have Brett on camera or not? Is Brett able to be on camera?
I'm not on camera. I'm not on camera, but you can hear me.
Oh, but we can hear you for sure.
Yep.
Hey, let's get right at it, Jason. Market's a little better today. Can we just go through the numbers real quick?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the market. We're going to get into some details about what I talked about Monday with the dollar and silver and gold. I know Andrew Mills in the chat, he'll like that discussion. Anyhow, the Dow was actually finished up today, 36,291 plus 39. The NASDAQ was 15,188 plus 35, and the S&P was up 13 points, 47.26. Bitcoin on the cusp of 44,000 here, right now 43,955. Ethereum 33.88. Oil was up big today, up 1.8%, up $1.48 a barrel to 82.70. Enjoy that $6 plus gas in California. I feel bad for you. Gold
$82 a barrel?
82.70, going to 100 in my opinion.
Wow.
Hey, gold was up today. It's 18.27. Silver was up really big. 41 cents in a silver move is a big move. $23.25. Copper was up large as well. Really up 13 cents. That's a big move. $4.56. You're seeing commodities. Inflation numbers came out today. 7% CPI, the highest in 40 years. It's not going to stop. Remember when they said it was transitory, Todd?
Yeah, I don't know where that word came from, transitory. I've never heard of inflation being transitory. Jason, when's the last time you remember the dollar strengthening and inflation going down and your dollar had more in purchasing power? I don't know. Do you ever remember that?
I do not. I was very young during Jimmy Carter's tenure. I would venture a guess that it probably did that a little bit into Reagan's administration, maybe.
If I travel to Venezuela, I can buy more with my dollar today than I could yesterday if I wanted to live in Venezuela. But here in New York City, bagel prices are going up, and I would know this because I've eaten a bagel every day since I've been in New York City.
Yeah, the bagels there, it's all about the water, right?
It's all about the water for sure. I had someone on Twitter suggest that because I have haters, I should maybe ease up. I was thinking to myself, in the 32 years that I've had haters being on Wall Street, trading, being a shareholder activist, I don't know that the haters have ever been right other than if something went down and they got the claim it went down. Now, that would make me right on AMC because I shorted some AMC, of course, covered since then. It's now lower, but I don't hear the haters in AMC coming back and saying, Todd, you were right from $44, it's now 22. Or GameStop at 100, it's now 125. The haters are only right like a broken clock once a day, once a year, etc. But I try to coach up my friend on Twitter not to worry about the haters. But I wonder how many haters they have in the oil patch when oil's $82. I thought EV was taking over and you didn't need any oil. Jason, what's the problem here?
Hey, dude, what happened when the futures contracts for light sweet crude were negative and barrels were $20? I mean, now they're $82.50. That's
No, they went negative for a day. I know they were below.
Yeah.
Yet you got paid to get rid. You had to pay to get rid of your oil.
Yeah, that is true. Now we're, what happened to, petroleum-based products are used in everyday life all over the world. I don't know what they were thinking there, but anyhow,
It's important to me that all my haters know, and all the people that like the show, to go like and follow us on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. It's okay to be a subscriber. You never know what'll happen. You might get invited to see a show or something like that. Hey, Jason, I want to point out that Brecky Von Bitcoin interview is up and I believe live right now. Am I playing this out of sequence? I might be playing out of sequence, but Nick or Brett, is it okay if we run the Brecky Von Bitcoin promo?
Yep, here we go right now. And roll.
Guess we go. Oh, this is the conference promo. That's nice. Oh, there he is, Charles.
Cute.
Hey, that was exciting. Obviously, it's exciting to learn about the conference. It's going to happen on May 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Paris Hotel. You can join us. Obviously, go to ToddAult.com. You can check it out. Hey, Joe, I take it you'll be there teaching everyone about Bitcoin?
Yeah, I'll be there teaching everybody about Bitcoin for sure. Super
Joe, what's
excited.
happening with you? What's happening with you? Did you actually get COVID? I heard that you were not feeling well.
No,
how's things?
My wife actually, interestingly enough, got the flu. We were tested multiple times and no COVID positive. So really just a case of it exists apparently still.
Apparently.
You're still allowed to get the flu. Can you get the common cold too? Little sniffles, or
I
is
think
that like
so.
5?
I think you can get
Yeah,
the flu
okay.
still.
I got to
Okay.
ask both you and Jason a question, Todd. Did you see that Bill Miller came out and said 50% of his entire portfolio is in Bitcoin now?
Yes, billionaire Bill Miller. Did see that.
If people understood how smart Bill Miller is and how much money I have made listening to Bill Miller, I did not know that. And while I'm incredibly grateful you told me, Bill Miller had made me a lot of money in Amazon. He is a great value investor. He's a great identifier of undervalued assets. I'm a big admirer of Bill Miller. And I would love to see that. I did not know. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
Well,
also
that's,
came out on record on a TV show apparently and said that he truly believes that everybody should have at least 1% of their entire portfolio in Bitcoin.
Wow, Joe, like you're like a reporter now. I never knew this. What just happened?
This just came out. I mean, like literally this morning. So pretty excited about that. That someone that's that savvy and that so many people trust is now actually prompting them to diversify their portfolio directly into Bitcoin.
Hey, could we make this available for our audience to show the links? Could we make this available to Christy, our producer, and talk about making these available, please? This is incredible. Bill Miller is an incredibly smart man. And I really am learning this for the first time because I have in New York working on a transaction. I get up in the morning at 8 a.m. and I work on it till 4 or 5 at night. Today, we cut out early. We cut out around 3. But I've been working on it pretty much nonstop for days. And I'm interested to see that link. Can we make that available to Christy and make sure we can put it up on the show when the show is reposted?
I'm going to pop it up in the chat too right now.
I have
Hey,
the Brecky for you.
Jason, were you aware that Bill Miller said this?
Yeah, I did see that. One of the news aggregators, crypto news aggregators had broadcasted that, I think Monday and or maybe Tuesday. That was big news.
That's incredible news. Wow. I'm almost blown away by that. Wow. Jason, what else are you covering right now? What else is interesting to you? I saw that Naked Brands, which is now called Centro, doesn't appear to be trading that well.
No, I think it's 0.208, so almost 21 cents pre-reverse split, and yeah, it hasn't been trading very well at all. Just looking at the symbol now, closed at 307, up after hours $3.10. Pretty light volume for them, 10 million shares. I was more looking at gold, silver plays and oil plays today. AUMN, HUSA, ticker symbols that where I was looking at, also FRD, and US Steel came out with a new facility they're going to be building in Osceola, Arkansas. It's near their one of their big plants, the Big River plant there. It's not too far. It'll be a combined 6.3 million tons. It'll be a mega mill. It looks like it'll be about $3 billion cost to build. It'll be finished in 2024. US Steel did get an upgrade by a couple of I think Jeffries gave them an upgrade, trading at around 25.70, 52-week high, $30.57. I like US Steel. I'm not recommending it, but that's a nice, solid cash flowing company for sure. Friedman had a move too today, Todd.
I saw Friedman move. We are the largest shareholder that I'm aware of Friedman FRD. And that was very helpful for us. I see that Niall, minimal comments here, it continues to trade at below book value, below the value of our miners, below, I don't know what to say here. Thank God for buybacks. Thank God for being able to buy it when I'm allowed to buy it. At this point, I probably have beat my head in the ground about it. It almost seems like I'd be better off to not make any comments about any companies we own and just focus on the market and answer questions once a quarter. I don't know, Jason, what do you think? Little Buffett style, we answer questions once a year, once a quarter, not really commenting. Because I looked at Riot, it's down from $79 to 21. It's down a big whopping, I think 75% from its high or something. And apparently we're not a Bitcoin miner. I don't know. Our price is below what we paid for the miners. It's below the deposit we made on the miners, I believe.
Yeah, there's only really one crypto ticker, quote unquote crypto ticker. Of course, the algos don't recognize Nile as a crypto ticker based on the price action. It seems like we get all the downside and none of the upside. But let me talk about the only crypto ticker. Actually, there's two. BTCS, which actually reversed hard around January 5th. They announced a buyback, $500,000 in Bitcoin, 5 cents per share in a form of a Bitcoin dividend if approved. That stock actually is now $6.70. The only other crypto ticker that has done well, to my knowledge, is NXTD, more of a software and tech play in crypto and the payment processor space. Other than that, you're right. All the crypto tickers have not fared very well. I noticed Canon had a good day today, but they're beaten down. SOS beaten down. Mara, Riot, like you said, they're all just succumbed to the small cap, misery that was been happening in the last 45 to 60 days.
Yeah. So Brett, I hope we're ready with Brecky Von Bitcoin, but next week there's going to be a show with Brecky Von Bitcoin, who's in the Bitcoin space. He was on my podcast. Can we run that promo, Brett?
Okay, go. What are your thoughts around Michael Saylor's? He has become like a legendary in his commentary.
In terms of bringing Bitcoin to the mainstream and making it palatable for people in the corporate world, and he set off this latest bull run. I don't think anyone can kind of dispute that. That's what started it. That's what brought us to where we are.
That was quick. Are we ready to go? And we're back, huh?
5.
This delay thing drives me crazy. I'm sorry to everybody. Hey, Skyla, obviously it's that time of the day here. We need a break. The monotony of Bitcoin conversation and others. What's going on with you? You got something you're going to tell us today? Got a funny joke for us?
I do have a joke. It's so a dad joke. So, how did the octopus beat the shark in a fight?
No idea.
He was well armed.
Oh my goodness.
That's great.
That was a great dad joke.
Thank
That
you.
might be one of
Are
the
you
best
gonna get-
ones.
Are you getting in front? You're going to get in front of 3,000 people live on screen and a couple hundred people in person and tell that joke at the conference?
Trust me, I'm trying to think of the very best possible jokes I can tell at the conference because I was thinking about that. Oh yeah, there's going to be tons of people actually there. I have to tell some really good jokes. So, yeah.
So Jason, I wanted to talk to you about the actual overall small cap market. I've been looking at some of the numbers, and some of the small caps like a Nile have been pretty annihilated. What do you make of it when you look at it, giving yourself a real honest assessment? What are you thinking about what's happened in the market? I looked at things like Naked. That thing has been clipped pretty hard, but when I read the filings for Naked, obviously there's a lot of stock that was issued, and it's going to take some time for that to settle in, but I wanted to hear your thoughts on the small cap universe, why you think it's getting hit so hard.
I mean, everything is down in the small cap, like 50 to 75%, some even higher. You saw a lot of profit-taking tax sales for the end of the year, money rotation more into value plays, free cash flow plays, also stuff in commodities. I think it's just a lot of just money rotation that went into large caps. Although the tech stocks did sell off pretty hard too. I mean, Twitter's down, over 50% from its high. Speaking of social media tech stock, DWAC, reversal on the daily, looks really good. I'm not recommending the stock, but Truth Social is going to be launching in February. I think you're going to see a big run up again in DWAC to test all-time highs. It's just my opinion. Keep an eye on that. It's trading very heavily. They announced Devin Nunes left Congress. It's going to be the CEO of Truth Social. They're doing a deal with Rumble. Rumble's gaining all kinds of popularity. It's kind of been more of a old school type of free speech platform. I watched an interview with the Rumble CEO on Tim Pool's YouTube channel, Timcast. Very sharp guy. He looks like a young guy, but very sharp. So keep an eye on DWAC. Again, not recommending the stock, but it looks really healthy on the daily.
I saw DWAC moving this morning. So when's the merger going to be complete? All that's going to be done.
Well, it has to be done by, I think it has to be done by February 1st. They plan on launching around Valentine's Day, according to what I'm seeing here. So nothing yet after hours, but I would expect news after hours here within the next 7 to 10 business days.
You assume that'll be a competitor. I mean, how much is it really a threat to Facebook, in your opinion?
I think it's going to be more of a threat to Twitter, in my opinion.
More?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So
Yeah.
is the thought process here the people that kind of love Trump Nation,
Yeah.
go over there and then they they give it a run, basically?
Big tech's about to be splintered into a million pieces. Rumble's going to take market share, in my opinion. Truth Social's going to be hosting free speech. Libertarians, conservatives, center-right leaning people, classical liberals who, a lot of people might not be sure what a classical liberal is. I'll let you do the research on that.
But some of these, Jason, some of these apps, I think there was one a year and some change ago that when they let them run completely free, there is some truth. I know that Joe Rogan has recently talked about one that he's on now. They tend to get a little crazy, don't they? I mean, how do you mitigate the craziness of like neo-Nazis and kind of crazy stuff on there? Because there is an obligation for the platform to not let people go crazy and make it a crazy site, right? Or what's the scenario though?
Well, yeah, they are publicly traded companies. Rumble's going public via SPAC also. But you'll have terms of service. They reviewed the terms of service on Rumble yesterday on the program. Yeah, they're not going to tolerate any kind of violence or racial stuff or anything like that. Any kind of pornography, all that stuff. It's just not going to be. And in my opinion, the reason why they're doing this is because they had a problem with basically a political situations where, it was perceived that one side of the aisle was censored more than the other side of the aisle. So I think that's what Trump is doing here. He's launching this platform. Who knows if he's going to run again in 24, but at least they will have a format where they think they can be treated fairly and they can voice their opinions and they're not being censored because someone thinks that a certain medicine is a good treatment for COVID. And it turns out that it actually is a good treatment for COVID, but they censored that person even after the fact that it was proven. So just crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw Joe Rogan talking about how he was bashed pretty hard for taking something prescribed to him by a doctor. I can see how that can be a little frustrating to people.
And CNN, did you see what CNN did to him? They miscolored his face. They made him look like he had malaria or something. I don't know. It's really crazy. But CNN actually, their ratings are down 90% from 2021. I mean, they're just.
Let's go to Joe. I know Joe is a big CNN watcher. Joe, are you going to start doing the crypto report for CNN directly?
You know what? That would be fabulous, but I don't think they're going to let me on. I mean, the biggest part about not letting me on is, well, I'm not even going to go there. But I have the same issues with Jason with that network. What I would say to you, Todd, and your question to Jason is hate speech is still hate speech, so they'll have something against that, right? What happened with Twitter, Facebook, and all that is they turned anything political that didn't agree with their viewpoint became hate speech, became bullying, became, I mean, there are still standards that are actually alive that say, hate speech isn't acceptable on almost any network, and what constitutes hate speech is very well defined. Yeah, and it used to be defined for Twitter and them.
Joe, I wanted to go and take a little bit of shift here to Kazakhstan, and can we talk about the Bitcoin network, the total hash rate, and what's happening there, Joe? Do you? I know Jason has some information here. But where do we stand on what's happening with Kazakhstan?
Well, we're definitely seeing the fallout now from it, right? I mean, we went up another tick, 0.5 on the difficulty, and we're only shortly into the new set of 2 weeks of difficulty inlay. But if things keep up, the global hash rate went up to 190 exahash, but it actually came down from 200, and I believe it was 35 or 25 at its peak. And we're going to see that because it looks right now the block length is at about 11 minutes and 13 seconds. So we're going to drop in difficulty by almost 10%. So the last two difficulty jumps are going to basically be wiped out if we stay as is.
But what's happening there in terms of the government, Jason? What do we look like?
There's news coming out of there, man.
Yeah. Well, the narrative on mainstream media was that Kazakhstan people were very irritated and pissed off because of the raise in energy prices. However, some of my sources are saying that the reason they rioted in the streets and there was bloodshed everywhere was because the government of Kazakhstan told the people that if they didn't get jabbed, they couldn't access their bank accounts. Now, that's just what I'm hearing. I'm not going to validate that, but I've heard that from several sources.
Well, you have some boots on the ground. I know that when we were looking at areas to mine before Michigan, we looked at Kazakhstan, and of course, I almost threw up with the idea of that idea of spending $100 million, and then in this case, we spent $167 million, and that we would ship resources overseas. I couldn't get comfortable with that, but you do have some direct connections there. Are they back up and mining again, Joe? Do we know whether the country's fully mining again, or is that just not the case?
We don't know if they're fully mining because, like Jason reported last week, I think it was, we do know that there were roving bands of ministry officials over there knocking out plants that were mining. So do I think that miners are mining? Yeah, I don't think their power is off anymore, and their internet is definitely on. And we had a giant raise in the last, let's call it, couple days. I mean, not giant, but a lot of the hash rate that went off is coming back on, right?
Yeah, that's the indication that they're mining again.
Jason, anything you want to cover before we call it a day?
Hey, I wanted to see, what's that background you got there, Todd?
Oh, Jason.
Is that your favorite car or something? I'm just trying. I know you like Ferraris, but
that is it. Well, I named one of my sons Enzo. That's an F458 More on that later. That is a spider, actually. Joe, do you have anything you want to cover before we move on?
I mean, I want to cover the car like Jason wants to cover the car.
Hey, Skyla, anything on your end?
Did you guys hear about that cliff that fell in Brazil?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That
saw
was
that.
insane.
Oh,
I saw that.
yeah.
Pretty bad. I think how many people died? I know you're smiling,
think-
Skyla. Tell us someone. What?
I think I'm not smiling, but I think 11, and then some are still not found, which obviously are dead. But I just thought that was absolutely crazy. I don't know if you guys saw the video. I don't know.
Yeah, that was
Really bad.
I did
Yeah.
see the video.
Yeah, very negative. Very, very negative for sure.
Hey, keep an eye on the dollar. Keep an eye on the dollar. My thesis was triple bottom back to 89 on the weekly. It's at close to it was 96 on Monday. It was 94.96 on the DXY. And keep an eye on gold and silver, the actual physical spot prices. And keep an eye on the actual premiums. If you're trying to buy gold and silver, go to findbullionprices.com. I'm not being compensated. That's just a live meta site. That's just my recommendation to get information if you're considering buying physical gold and silver.
Hey, Jason,
join us
real quick,
Yeah,
go ahead.
since you're big on gold and silver, you think you can get copper to come down in price? Because I need a lot of it, and I don't want to
I
pay the
know.
prices.
Hey, there's copper in that building.
Hey, go to ToddAult.com if you want to pre-register for the conference. Hey, with Brett, can we run the promo one more time and then count me in, and then we'll give everyone some information. We'll call it a day. Hey, Jason, what's your favorite part of that video? I know what mine is. What's your favorite part of that video, Jason?
Well, I'm a huge Charles Payne fan, so I'm looking forward to actually meeting him. So that's mine. When you landed him, I was really stoked about that.
Yeah, he will be one of the keynote speakers. But one of the things that I was excited about was that on the stage in Dubai with Bitmain and Frank, that was a great day. Obviously, that really launched us into mining in a big way, where we bought 20,600 miners. I'm pretty excited about it. Joe, do you feel like your luxury life, your sort of like cushy life in Vegas, where you didn't have to do much, has now been upside down by that trip to Dubai? I know that you were there and we had to order all those miners. Are you a little busier now than, say, your cushy life of going home at 4 o'clock every day?
Wow.
Holy
I mean, I suppose it's the same cushy life as arriving at noon every day. So, there you go.
Hey, don't worry, Joe, because I'm up every day at 6 a.m. with the market.
Me
but
too,
I
baby.
get Yeah, okay. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks everybody so much. Thanks, Christy, obviously our new producer. We're getting used to this. I will be live in studio back on Monday. On Friday, there will not be a show. Unfortunately, I will be busy, and there's no way I can make that show. It's not going to be possible till we do it later. I will talk to the team and see if they want to do the show later, like 3 o'clock. If there is, we'll put it out of community. Go to ToddAult.com and click on the text message there, and you can get updates as to when the show is going to be live. Go and pre-register at ToddAult.com for the conference, May 12th through the 15th. There's going to be a lot of special guests. I like sailing. There could be things like that happening there. Joe, is there any guests you want to see at the conference that may be there?
I don't know. I like sailing too, man. I got to tell you.
For sure. Yeah.
Hey,
Jay-
two more things. Tomorrow is the ex-dividend date for Friedman. So if you want to participate in the 2-cent share dividend, you'll need to own that stock by tomorrow. Also, Todd, your exit, I think we need something like a saying or expression as you exit the show each day. And I think I came up with one. So
Give me the exit. What is it?
I think it's probably go Bitcoin and mine, baby, mine, or something like that. We'll have to come up with it.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Go Bitcoin, mine, baby, mine. Everyone take care. We're going to try to see you Friday at 3 o'clock would be the time frame. 3 o'clock specific time. We'll let everyone know the show's going live then. I should be ready to go by then. Everyone, we'll see you Friday. Take care, everyone.